guest. Today I have Ryan, also known as Elusive.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Thanks for coming here tonight. I think this is episode 9. So I'm really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Let's get to it.
So, let's just right off the bat, we'll just talk about like a big reason that you're here tonight. So we have a big, huge show coming up.
Right.
At the Rise.
First headline show ever. I'm super
This is your
pumped
first
for
headline?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've only been doing music for about the past year now. I started back in January of last year.
Just a year?
Yeah.
How many songs do you... Okay, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's been only a year.
Right.
Awesome, man. Well, first headline show. Are you nervous for that?
I'm more excited. Maybe a little stressed.
Yeah, it's stressful. Trying to get everything ready and...
Definitely, but it will be a good show. We've got a lot of really good talent.
Yeah.
And a lot of really awesome people that'll be coming too. So
yeah, some people I haven't met yet, but Tyler and CJ I've met. They're really talented. Yeah. It's a really amazing scene coming up, especially in the rap scene and hip hop game.
Absolutely.
Which, I mean, a lot of people, especially in like Provo and Utah Valley, they just don't think. Everyone thinks, oh, it's like indie or whatever. But
right.
One thing I noticed in like the Utah Valley is that there's so many different genres that are doing really well, and there's tons of it.
Yeah.
So we're happy to give them the spotlight, and so yeah, all week we'll be doing stuff with you, doing certain different videos and content for you, and
I'm excited for it.
A lot of fun stuff planned this week. So so as your first headline show, you've been just starting as Elusive for a year now, right?
Right.
And how did the whole like, where did you get started? What made you want to?
So I've been doing music for a long time. I wasn't serious about writing anything or anything like that, but like in school and stuff, I would mess around and like we'd make random little things, or we'd mess around in like our choir classes and things.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until my senior year to where I was like, okay, well maybe I could write something.
Nice. Okay.
And so before that, I was working down in Salem, Utah as a DJ over the weekends. And so we would mess around and do stuff afterwards, do karaoke nights, do all sorts of fun stuff.
DJ for dance parties that you would throw, or like just for someone else?
So it was actually for this, it was for a venue that's over there. It's called, the name escapes me, it's been way too long. Emerald Eve Cafe and Club.
Okay.
How
far is Salem? I'm not like really
from Provo, it's towards Spanish Fork. It's right in between Spanish Fork and Payson.
Okay, gotcha. So, like, within 30 minutes.
Yeah, so not too far.
Probably it's closer.
So, yeah, my junior high school year, we messed around a lot. Just, karaoke nights, doing dance parties, doing all the football stomps afterwards. And so I was like, I like performing. And so I got into this high school class to where it was a digital media production, and they had a studio there. And so I decided,
in the high school?
So it was it's an ALC building.
ALC.
So Advanced Learning Center.
Okay.
So they just barely opened a new one up in Salem where I was living at the time, going to school. And so I just started messing around and came up with my first album, which I released, even before I released it, I was messing around. So this was, 2 years ago now. Gotcha. I was messing around, dropping a lot of different stuff on SoundCloud, messing around. I went under the name Paradox originally.
Okay.
So
it wasn't even Elusive yet. You were just making stuff.
So this was just like for fun, just kind of messing around, showing my classmates, and it was extra credit for school at the time.
Did you get into like production and like producing beats first?
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't...
Actually, in high school...
planning on being a rapper, or you just like the music first?
No, I loved the music.
Okay.
So in high school, I made a ton of beats, and I would like sell them online and do things like that.
Wow.
It actually paid for a decent amount of like some of my extracurricular activities and things like that.
Dope.
And so it's super fun, but I wanted to be the one singing and rapping to these different things. So after that came
let me
Paradox.
back you up a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So you started selling beat. Like, how did you get started with that?
So
like with selling beats.
I had a friend of mine. He had a YouTube channel.
Oh, dope.
That he actually was running really successfully.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I like these beats that you're making.
Yeah.
Let me put them on YouTube.
So you like post them for people to find
Right.
them, and you put them like, what did you like the free model where people would download them for free, and then
so it
you
was
had, like a website, or
so we did half and half. We put them all on BeatStars.
Okay, cool.
So my friend, he knows a ton more
I've
about
used
that whole
BeatStars,
scene than
yeah.
I do.
Do you still use BeatStars or no?
It really depends
interesting,
because, well, even now, like as far as I've come in this last year, I've met some really amazing producers. Shout out to Malu.
Yeah.
And like there's super awesome people who know exactly what type of beats and music that I want and try and help me find that little niche that I like.
Cool. Sweet. So you don't always produce solo. You have other people
Right.
you collaborate with.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the way to go. You know, I mean, every once in a while you can have your own thing, but it's really nice to
Yeah, it's
gather ideas.
honestly
and
that's my
influences and-
biggest thing. I love working with other artists. That's why we have so many people at this show. It's just I love working with people. I love
I've
people.
noticed that about you. Yeah, you like getting out there.
And that's honestly, that's for me at least, that's what music is about to me. It's about bringing people together.
Cool.
It's about finding something common in between all of us and like really just pushing all of our creativity to the limits.
That's awesome. So you started out DJ just in
Right.
high school, and then after high school, or kind of toward the end, started producing, getting that
Right.
game. When did it switch and you're like, okay, I'm tired of giving these away and having other people do beats on
Well,
or raps
honestly,
on
it was, so I was sitting in my English class. So we're sitting in there, we're going over some essay. I can't even remember what we were doing. And I'm looking up, kind of looking at these words, and I see the word elusive.
Oh, cool.
And read the definition, and I was just like, that kind of embodies what I want with my music.
Nice.
Like like how I was feeling at the time. I didn't know it would be for music, but it was for the beats I was making at the time. And me as Paradox trying to figure out like, okay, so I know I want to do rap and hip hop, but how do I want to go about it?
Yeah.
And so a lot of it just turned into like me trying to figure out what I want and not finding my right style. Like I couldn't find it for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then I see that on the board. I'm like, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. It's hard to grasp. Like I can't figure out what it is I want. And
So the name really struck you. And
yeah.
Did that kind of like make you just, you're like that, this is kind of, you got like a vision for what you wanted to do through that?
Yes.
It's interesting. That's cool.
So, and I did have some life experiences leading after that. I don't want to go into a ton today, but like that just made it solidified. Like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. I want what I see all these people having. I want this creativity, this fun that they're having, and this platform that these people give all these artists to spread the message that they want and what they believe in.
That's cool, man. So, what was your, like, what was the, because this is the other thing that I was going to talk about. For a rapper / hip hop artist, producer that's been doing it under this name for like a year, you have a ton of music out. Like,
yes,
it's a lot. It's quite a bit. It's awesome, and a lot of really good stuff. I really like the Reflections album a lot. There's
Thank you.
Some really cool like guitar bass beats, which I'm in love with personally. I just love that type of music, especially like emo rap and stuff. But yours is really cool too. I thought they're really cool. So what was like what was your first release going back? Because on Spotify it's kind of hard to tell because you have to go really deep.
So I do produce a lot.
Yeah.
That is my biggest thing with me is I always have to be creating. Like I have probably 3 times as much stuff that I haven't released than I have released. Because for me, it's like I have to always be creating.
Gotcha. How many like beats and songs are you like making a week? Is it a couple or is it just like
it really depends. It comes in spurts. So a lot of the times It's pretty steady. I'll do at least one song a week.
Okay.
But it could be anywhere from one to half an album.
Okay, cool.
It all just depends on my mood and like how things are going and based on my time.
That's awesome. Really cool, man. Sweet. So, so basically, what was the other question? I'm sorry, I'm like spacing out right now.
You're good.
Cut that out.
The releases. So my first release.
So your first release, was that Midas? Was that the first one?
Actually, no. So my first release under Elusive was the start of January.
Okay.
It was supposed to be on New Year's, but I was still learning. It was a little bit later, so I think we ended up putting it out on the 15th. Nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, DistroKid.
Yeah.
But it was actually, so it was the Infinity album, which actually is no longer in stores.
Okay.
So that was kind of like the beginnings for me figuring out my sound and like figuring out exactly what I wanted. And I realized just a couple months after putting that out, like, that's not how I want to sound.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost there, but not quite. And so that started the whole campaign for the Elusive EP. And that's where Midas came from.
Okay, so Midas was in that.
Midas was my first release that I'm proud of. We can put it that way.
It did really well, too. Yeah.
It really did. And I think a lot of that is owed to the production team who helped me out.
Yeah.
So I actually worked with Jinx Music. I don't know if you know him. Or Anxiety.
I know Anxiety.
Both of those guys, they helped me out a lot.
Oh, cool.
And so
they helped you out with like the production or like the marketing?
They honestly just helped me with everything. They mentored me through everything.
Sweet.
So I heard about them from a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And so I linked up with them on Instagram, just like, hey, I want to do some production stuff. I got to know them a little bit more, and like they really pushed me and taught me things that I had no idea about that got me a huge jump start. Because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything at the time.
It's kind of cool that you were like humble enough to realize, hey, I'm a new artist. I'm not where I want to be yet.
Right.
And then you collaborated with someone who's doing really well, and especially in like Salt Lake game.
Yeah.
They're doing really well. And then it worked. Like, especially for a first release, it got, I don't know, what's it at right now? Like
Midas, I think it's almost at 56,000.
Yeah,
it's over 56,000 at this point.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. I was blown away by those numbers when I first saw it. And so that's really what pushed me to continue. And then the Elusive EP was the first official release.
Gotcha.
So I dropped Midas early is what had happened.
Single for it.
Yeah. And then the Elusive EP came out May 16th.
Very cool.
And then we've just been grinding ever since then.
Yeah, you've been grinding hard. I would say like you and Tyler James, you guys are friends obviously.
Yeah.
And you've collaborated a lot together. And I've noticed that about both of you. You guys work so hard, and you're always releasing new stuff. And
well, a lot of it is like him and I we went to high school for a little bit.
Okay.
And like we grew apart for a little while. Like I didn't really know him super well back then.
Okay, gotcha.
And then he heard I was getting into the music scene, and so we started talking one day. And a day after, he was my next door neighbor in the apartment where I'm living right now.
Okay. Are you living here in like Orem?
So we're here. We're in Provo.
Oh, cool.
So we're right on the border, down by University Mall.
But you grew up in Provo too, or?
So I was born in Provo. We moved around a ton, my family. So we've been all over Idaho, all over Nevada and Utah.
Oh wow.
Bunch of different areas over the last 13 years, something like that. And we've been back in Utah for about 5 or more of that.
Oh wow. Okay. Sweet. So you've just been kind of all over.
Yeah.
Especially the west side. Very cool. So for you, like growing up, were you always like into music? I know it seems like it was kind of later for you. Like during the beginning of high school, were you?
Well, I've always loved music.
Did you play any instruments or anything?
So I picked up my first guitar when I was 8.
Okay.
And so I've just been playing on that forever now.
Sweet.
I picked up piano when I was like 15, not very seriously, just like, the YouTube tutorials, looking up the same 3 things or something like that. And then I got bored of that. And so I just kind of started making my own jams. So for a while, I actually did acoustic stuff. So I used to work at an old folks home for a while. And like every month I'd go over there with my guitar and just play some original stuff. Or there was a couple of times I went and played Elvis or Johnny Cash, just some old school stuff.
Oh, way cool.
I did. So funny story. Yeah. So I went in there one time and I forget. So this gentleman, his name's Verl. He's one of my super close friends. I've known this man for years. He actually just passed recently, but awesome guy.
Yeah.
I remember one time he came in and what song was it? It was one of Post Malone's songs. He asked me to play for him. I was like, how do you even know what Post Malone is?
Which one was it?
It was one of his older ones from one of his first albums.
Fall Apart, maybe, or it must have been popular.
Yeah, it might have been Fall Apart. It's been a while, but it was off of one of his earlier albums. I was just surprised, like blown away that these people know artists, and it was super funny.
How does that even happen?
I don't know.
That's so cool.
I don't know. Half the old folks have iPhones now.
Yeah, I guess my grandparents still have all that technology now too. They were a little later to it, but they figured it out eventually. That's cool. So, what kind of artists would you say are like your biggest influences from? Was it start from like an early age into like more recent stuff?
Okay, so early age, we grew up on a lot of Johnny Cash, Michael Jackson. Famous hip hop artists, like we would always play the top hip hop charts in my family. Okay. I remember that, like back when Snoop was coming out with all this crazy stuff, and NWA and Tupac and all this Biggie. I was never a huge Eminem fan. Yeah. Like Eminem definitely has his place, respect the GOAT, but I was never a huge fan of him.
I never really got into Eminem too much. I mean, he's really good, but it wasn't really my thing. Growing up.
I would say now my biggest influence now would probably be definitely NF.
NF?
That's one of my biggest vibes. Okay. I would say J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Kendrick Lamar. Joyner Lucas. A little bit of Logic, but I try not to listen to too much of his stuff because it totally changes my flow.
Yeah.
Like if you look at...
Because it's different from what you do.
It's very different. Yeah. So if you look at Take My Bow from the Reflections album versus Graffiti from the very first one, those are like two completely different songs.
Yeah.
And I was listening to two very different artists at the time when I was writing them.
It messes you up. Like it's just harder to get in that.
It's harder to get exactly what I want, or sometimes it's helpful.
Yeah.
Like I know I was on a huge Joyner Lucas kick for a while, just listening to all of his music. And I noticed that like everything started getting more blah 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 blah.
So you started like picking up.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, outside of like rap and hip hop, do you listen to any type of like rock or like indie or any other genres that you enjoy?
I do like. I don't love every top chart, but I'll listen to those. I do like a lot of indie.
Okay.
I actually love classical.
Classical?
I absolutely love classical. Or Broadway as well, strangely enough.
Really?
I listen to a ton of Broadway. It's super weird. It's one of my guilty pleasures, if you will.
There's no such thing as guilty pleasure these days, I don't think. Everyone just listens to everything.
Yeah, it's true.
That's cool. Sweet. So, like, really broad, like, spectrum, especially, like, from what you grew up on.
Definitely.
That's cool. Very cool, man. So what are some of like some of the big goals that you have planned for your project as Elusive?
So currently I'm obviously very close with Tyler. So him and I have been game planning off and on here and there.
Yeah.
I can't make too many big announcements.
Yeah, you can't tell too much.
But one of the goals we did talk about was to do a show every month. Yeah. Because that's something I struggle with is performing.
Yeah.
Like, I can write all day, but when it comes down to it, it's
a different game.
It's totally different.
I do remember the last show that you played here. You brought like tons of energy. It was like, you did really good the first time too, but like the second time was just like whoa.
Yeah,
It was really
well,
good.
I've been learning a lot.
Yeah, you learn. I could tell you learned a ton.
So that's one of the
been working
huge
on it.
benefits of the internet is like research and research and research and
yeah,
research.
just seeing other artists. And seeing what they
Exactly.
do. That's cool. That's awesome. What are some of like your favorite concerts that you've seen that kind of inspired you?
Ooh. So I've actually only been to a few concerts in my life. I haven't been to a ton.
Oh man, we need to change that.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So I do go to a lot of I love the local talent
Yeah.
in Utah. Absolutely love it. I've been to more shows than I can think of as far as local talent goes. I think some of the bigger names that I've seen, just last summer I went with a cousin of mine over to see Macklemore.
Cool.
And he has a very unique energy. It was so fun just to watch him, like,
Yeah, but
because it's so different than like you go to a Little Peep or an XXX Tentacion concert or something like super crazy and just
yeah,
it's a whole different game, and it shows a whole different side of hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
For sure.
The most recent like big rap show that I went to, because obviously like I run sound at a venue, so I'm literally doing live shows and being at live music. Even when I don't do stuff here, I'll go to a lot of local stuff every weekend. But I went to see, it was summer, I saw Blink 182 with Lil Wayne. And let me tell you, that was like a game changer for me.
It's crazy.
I mean, I grew up like, I'm like very into rock, but I'm like quite literally like producing every type of genre out there. That's kind of like what I've been forcing myself to do, just like get really into different genres, including rap and hip hop lately.
Right.
But like I had listened during the Bling era, I like obviously couldn't escape it. It was in every high school. There was like blasting, what was it, Thug Hard 3, I don't know very much. It was like with Lollipop and
yeah
A Million,
all the
whatever.
old school
all
stuff.
those stuff.
Yeah.
And so I had grown up, I knew all those songs. Just, I mean, I wasn't like in love with them, but I was like, these are cool.
You kind of have to.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Anyway, so I'm seeing Blink, which is my all-time favorite band growing up.
Right.
And they were okay. Like, to be honest, the first time I saw them with Tom was like insane, and this one was like mediocre at best.
Jeez.
And then I saw Lil Wayne like get on stage with this rock band and put on the biggest rock show of all time. It was like loud, and there was sub bass, and there was like
It's crazy.
808 drops and like crazy guitar solos, and he was like smoking a joint on stage the entire time without stopping, and like it was the most punk rock thing I've ever seen. They almost like showed up Blink, almost like it was really sad, but it kind of shows like how far rap is going. Like they'll do anything to make the show better, including like add live musicians, add
that's
DJs
the nice thing
and,
with rap. Like,
yeah, and people loved it, and
Yeah.
it was really fun. I mean, which I did not expect to like that part of the show.
Right.
Like, trust me, I went there and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna care about Lil Wayne. We're gonna go get some dinner. Like during that,
Yeah.
it turned out to be like, wow, they showed up Blink.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I feel like most people agreed. Like it was pretty sad, but
Well, that's the nice thing
Anyway.
about rap is like it can fit into any genre.
Yeah.
If you want to make a rock rap song, do that.
Yeah.
You want to make something with crazy strings like
Yeah.
NF does, make it super cinematic, you can do that too.
yeah, but what for me was, it was more of like the studio and the versions that everyone's familiar with. I learned a ton about live music from that, because it was like he just took it to the next level. He's like, okay, it sounds like this in the studio version, but how do we make this just so badass, like
Right.
live? And he's just like added all these incredible players and added all this extra instrumentation, and it just took it to a new level. And I feel like a lot of like, that's the one thing missing in rock. They just don't take it to the next level. They're like scared to add
Yeah.
anything, they just got to keep it. I mean, there's this weird mentality in some musicians that are like, you have to do it the same way they've been doing it for 50 years. And rap doesn't have any rules. There's no rules.
There are no rules.
So I learned a ton. So going to live shows is awesome, especially local, but seeing the greats sometimes is really cool. You learn a ton.
Agreed.
Cool, man. What are some other ones that you remember that you've gone to?
Actually, I just recently went to the NF show in Salt Lake.
Oh yeah, was that like last month? It was recent.
Yeah. Either last month or the month
Yeah,
before.
yeah. That's cool. Was it Complex?
It was crazy.
The Complex?
It was
Union Stage?
the Saltaire.
Saltaire, of course. Yeah, it's that much bigger, probably. Yeah, I've never been to Saltaire.
I've never been to the Complex, so.
Oh really?
No.
Oh, I used to live right near the Complex, so I've gone way too much. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I live like a block away, so you don't have to park.
That's
you just,
awesome.
Like, go down the road. But yeah. So that was really good. Who opened for him?
Oh, that is a good question.
Were you there for it? You just there? For
I was there. It was some indie rock dude that
really
came up on one guitar, and he did really good. Like, I was surprised at
That's
how well
interesting.
it did.
So it wasn't like another rapper. It was like a different thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he did a really good job. It wasn't my favorite, but
yeah.
his lyrics were definitely there. I followed him, and I haven't heard the name since, so I forgot it since. But
that's funny.
But yeah,
he must have been okay.
Yeah, he was okay.
But NF was awesome.
NF was life-changing.
Yeah.
It was crazy to just see that energy.
Yeah.
And just like to see how many people connected with just all of his lyrics.
He's getting like really big, like especially in the last year. I keep hearing his name. I've listened to a lot of like his top songs, I would say, but I haven't like dived into the albums or anything yet.
Yeah, I think my favorite album from him, actually, I have no favorite. I pick and choose songs.
Yeah.
But his older stuff I really vibed with, like back in 2015 when he was still Nate Feuerstein trying to figure out everything before NF. Like,
that's cool.
It was crazy. I've been following him for a while.
Nice. How long has it been? It's been a while. I feel like he's a new artist, but
so it's been
like 5 years or so, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about.
Sweet, man. So you're like a first, like one of the first.
One of
fans.
the first. I got introduced to him by one of the guys that'll be singing at the show. His name's Corbin.
Okay.
So he's not on here.
He's featured in.
He's
one
featured
of the
in
songs.
my set.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Sweet, man. So we have, so there's how many other people are featuring in the show, right? There's like
so we've got
a couple songs because you have a pretty long set.
Yeah, so I have a decent set. So we have Tyler James, CJ, and Santel. So those three
featured for sure.
Oh, he'll be in my set for sure. Same with CJ. Santel.
Have you released anything with CJ? I don't. Not yet.
Not yet.
Spilling the beans.
So we actually, it comes out the 31st of this month. We've got a brand new song coming out. So I actually just announced that last night.
Oh,
so.
Cool. Exciting. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. It's called Keeper. So it's one of his originals that I went and jumped on. So
you're like, it's like more like he wrote the track and you
and
wrote
I
like a
on
verse
it.
or
yeah,
something. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fun. I'm excited for that. That's cool.
Same here. He's a really talented artist, and he's just a really cool guy too.
Yeah.
Same with Santel and One Alone too. He's a really chill dude. So he'll be hopping on for my set. He was originally gonna have his own set, but we ran into a couple of problems with getting everything set up and all that.
That's
but
fine.
So we have those four, and then we have Raya Pan coming as well. So we're actually debuting a new song that I actually fully produced everything for.
Oh, sweet.
So she actually wrote most of the lyrics. It's from one of her old singles that she put out. It was a while ago. It might have been 2017, 16. Like, it's an old song. And so we kind of revamped it, and we're going to be releasing.
Produced it with her. And like collaborated.
Yeah. So we're actually in the process of finishing up the recording.
Okay, cool.
So, but we're super excited. We're going to be practicing a ton this week to get it just right.
Yeah.
But we'll be debuting it at the concert before it comes out on the next album, Red.
Cool. So you already have like the next album.
Yeah. So actually, this photo is the album cover for Red. So this is the newest album I have coming out. The release date is February 14th.
Okay.
Valentine's Day, hence Red.
Day.
It's also Red is one of the nicknames that I've gone by like my entire life.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
That's cool. So new album coming.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How much?
Super excited.
Do you have like like any idea of how many songs are on it and everything? Or is it still kind of
so currently I'm at 16.
Oh wow, man!
So I gotta cut. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. It's just picking and choosing which ones I like more.
Yeah. That's
so
awesome,
the goal will be between 12 and 14.
Gotcha. That's sick.
So, yeah, that's exciting. And then we do have another one of my childhood friends. His name's Corbin Cantrell. So he'll be singing. So I actually wrote a song. I had a family member of mine pass recently, and so I wrote a song for him and a lot of the friends and family that I've lost along the way in the course of my life.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited to roll it out. That one's called Bed of Gold.
Okay.
I'm super excited to roll that one out. That one has a lot of emotion and a lot of really deep and good bars. Yeah.
That's cool. That's good, man. Yeah, that's another thing I liked a lot about your music. I mean, I feel like Midas is like more of like a hype song, and you have a lot of those, which are fun, which you gotta have them. They're cool. But you do have a lot more songs that have a lot of meaning, and that are a lot. You could tell that you're thinking really like hard about your lyrics, and you're really pushing it instead of like nothing. But I mean, that's one thing that is hard for me to get into rap. Is just like
there's no meaning behind a lot of stuff.
I'm not always in that mood where I want to listen to hype music.
Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, that's really cool, man. I'm excited to hear the new stuff and see how you're evolving.
I'm super excited.
That's cool.
I might be calling it early, but this may be one of the best albums I've ever written.
Okay, cool.
So I'm hoping it does really well. Like Reflections, I put my soul into that album.
Yeah.
Like I've said that a million times, but I put everything I had into the album. And I'm just like now realizing that I have even more to give with this next one.
You're still learning. You're still like
always
getting better.
That's stay awesome, elusive.
Man. Yeah.
Always be changing.
There you go. That's awesome, man. Very cool. Well, we're very excited for the show, and always a pleasure to have all you guys, especially this crew. Like, I'm really excited to see where you guys all are going and where your career is going to take off. And it's just, for me, it's cool because it's like, especially when I started working here, like one of my big goals was, and I know Nate, the owner, like one of the goals was to really help the music scene thrive as much as possible and to showcase all the talent instead of just like the core group that kind of gets overrepresented in Utah. I feel. I don't know why that is. We still haven't figured that out, but there's a lot of great talent in the rap scene and hip hop and rock music and metal even. Like, there's some really amazing metal bands even that people don't know about, but they actually have massive fan bases like all throughout the country and are doing really well. And people like you got tons of streams and tons of followers, and so it's gonna be exciting, man, to see all the different genres like taking off.
Yeah. Well, once again, like I said at the beginning, like it's about bringing people together. That's the whole idea.
Exactly. Yeah. It's really cool. So excited for the show. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about tonight? We got some time still, so.
Yeah, let me think.
Oh, before you leave, we have to. We almost had Leo on the show too.
Oh yeah,
he was going to be the real interview, the real star of the show.
I did get a dog a little while ago. My girlfriend and I got a dog.
Was it really recent? Was it like a week ago?
It was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
3-4 weeks ago.
So his name is Leo.
Leo.
He's a chocolate lab.
He's really cute. You'll see him in a minute.
Yeah, we'll go
for sure. We'll get him on camera. Or else no. Yeah. Here's the reason why this video is gonna get the most views.
Clickbait.
Clickbait. We're just gonna put the puppy in the
thumbnail.
In the thumbnail.
I like that.
For sure. But I mean, we wanted to have him here, but he kept whining.
I know.
He kept crying, and
I know he's a new puppy, and he's very.
It would have been okay. But whatever. We just
go get him. He's probably asleep.
He's probably asleep in the other room. But so you've got a new puppy. He's super cute.
Yup.
He's probably he's not chewing up anything yet, though. He probably will.
No, yeah.
They get through a phase, man, and they won't stop.
I just watch him constantly. He's usually really good in the car. Like, he's got, like, this toy that he's got in there that he chews on. He's absolutely fine, but
eventually they turn into little monsters.
I know, and I'm nervous for
But
that.
it's okay. You just have to. No, my sister had this last year got a really cute dog, and it was kind of that way at first, but they just like took him on like tons like runs, and he was really active and outside a lot, and he's like so obedient. Like they trained him so well, so it's possible. Growing up, my dog was not that way. My puppy was cute, but he was like eating everything. And
Jeez.
Nightmare.
See, ours thought she was human. Like in my family, she would like try and sit at the table, and she'll jump up and give hugs, and she'll like take naps on the couch all day.
Yeah, man. Well, we should go. We should go show the audience Leo and give him a guest appearance on the podcast.
I'm about it. Should I go get him?
Unless there's anything else you want to talk about. I mean, we already talked about a lot of the new releases coming up.
Right.
Of course, the show and some stuff about Elusive, what the story of Elusive, and
right.
How it came to be. So,
let me think if there's anything else.
If not, we can. Let's go get the puppy, and then we can sign off.
All right.
Be sick.
I'm about it.
Cool. Off.
All right.
Be sick.
I'm about it.
Cool.
Okay.
I forgot. All right. Before we go, the last thing I like to do is at the end of the podcast, if it's cool with you, which hopefully it is, we can I like to play like a song that you want the audience to hear.
Oh, okay.
Just want to choose.
Probably Midas.
Midas? Okay, awesome. So, so we'll play the new song, well, one of his big hits.
Classics.
The classic from Elusive, available on Spotify, but here's the song Midas off of, what's the EP called, that song?
The Elusive EP.
The Elusive, so it's just self-titled.
Yes,
okay, so
except it's spelled without the 3.
Without the 3.
So Elusive.
Cool. So, here it is. You're listening to Midas.
This is my throne. Everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse. Your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone. Yeah. This is my throne. Everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse. Your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone. Gold touch, my 2 cents. Thought tell the price of living, that's an expense. Try to keep it alive, but you all dead. I'm the Superman to your Clark Kent. Yeah, average into the speed of the message. You traveling, babbling, trying to keep it together. You flatter, I'm scattering, shattering. Everything mouth is a javelin. Yeah, infinity time, boy, I am infinite. Interesting time change, I am different. My script on a page, you kids illiterate. I sit on my throne, crowned like a veteran. Wish for the gift to live like a king. Every gift come with a curse, you can see. Every so often mine goes out of sync, but you and my puppets pull back by the string. Senpai, that guy, kingdom in his pocket, and baza. Bounce high, live to the fullest, you flatline. Combine everything you got toward an incline. People calling Midas, yeah, I'm the gold mine. Rich man, living every day in a curse land. Try talking, ain't people, yeah, it's out of my hands. Some rags are riches, do you understand? Understand the wish, what a wish is my command. This is my throne, everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse, your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone, yeah. This is my throne, everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse, your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone. Nobility, crown with the jewels made of chords, it's a symphony. Everyone kneeling my presence, you're killing me. I am no wonder, roll over, you feeling me. Writing for the generations ahead of me. My music, medicinal remedy, doctor's prescription will make you all better. See my music, that shots at my enemies, yeah, throw me a lateral. Stay woke on a Adderall. Keeping up with the pace in my ship, I'm admiral. Water's getting deep, there could be some collateral. Some moving in the water, some along supernatural. I am a lion, you hear me roar. World's game of light, but we don't keep score. I'ma keep a killing while the rain is pouring. Tonight I'm on a proud to get my name restored. This is my throne, everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse, your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone, yeah. This is my throne, everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse, your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone. Midas, 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 yeah. Midas, 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 Midas. throne. Everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse, your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone, yeah. This is my throne. Everything I touch is made up of gold. Made it a curse, your love on a stone. If you wanna make it, you make it alone. Midas, 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 yeah. Midas, 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 Midas.